Today we're talking strictly better Magic the Gathering cards. And just a reminder, you know, on my show, strictly better is very loose of a term. But let's start it off with Unsummon. Unsummon, return target creature to its owner's hand. Do you have any idea how old this card is? This has been here since the dark ages of Alpha and Beta. It is one of the most fundamental ways of, like, dealing with permanence for blue. Returning that creature to its owner's hand for a single blue. But it got, like, completely undermined when we got to Vapor Snag for a single blue instant. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Its controller loses 1 life. So now when you're starting to interact with your opponent's creatures, they lose a little bit of the life total on top of, you know, on top of that interaction. And that actually is very important if you're a somewhat creature-based deck. If you're in, like, if you're in the Merfolk or the Delver or Prowess Sphere or whatever, this actually has been an incredible, almost like burn spell in addition to being an interactive spell on the battlefield. But then some of you might say, Nikachu, do you know what? That's not always strictly better, because what if you want to target your own creature? Sometimes you want to protect your own creatures. Your opponent's attacking your creature. You can Vapor Snag your creature back to your hand. When you want Unsummon over the Vapor Snag, and you know what? You got a little bit of a point. You got a little bit of a point here. But then they printed Fading Hope. Blue instant, return target creature to its owner's hand. Then if its mana value was 3 or less, we get to scry 1. So whether it was the mana value was 3 or less from your opponent's side or our side, we're going to get the scry. And you know what? No damage. No damage to anybody. And the advantage is all to us. The opponent's going to scry? No, the opponent's not going to scry. We're the only ones going to scry. Alright, so if anyone has any other suggestions for strictly better cards, remember, the term strictly better is very loose on this channel. People were very upset by that. They're like, this, you just compared an uncommon to a mythic rare. Yes, I don't care. So long as that's the same casting cost, same power and toughness, good enough for me. Absolutely good enough for me. Hewley, this actually doesn't count because this is strictly worse. We started with Lightning Bolt. We gotta go. It has to be, you know, this needs to progress forward. Lightning Bolt came first, then came Shock. Oops. Then came the Shock. Oh man, there's so many shock cards. Sudden Shock, Stagger Shock. Shock deals 2 damage to any target. So that's going reverse in history. This is a strict... I almost made this strictly worse. We'll have a strictly worse video one day. That's for sure. Alright, the amazing one says, Unsummon, then Vapor Snag, then Stern Dismissal. Oh, instant return target creature or an enchantment an opponent controls to its owner's hand. But this is not entirely strict. It's close enough. Like I said, we know the terms are really loose. Although this is only, it only affects the opponent's stuff, not our own. Yeah, but then we got Bolt and Zendikar. So we went from Bolt... Whoops, Bolt to Shock to Lightning Bolt. Alright, yeah. Eventually we got reprinted the strictly better cards. That's how they did it. Boomerang is a strictly better unsummon. Yeah, but for more mana. I mean, at the very least, the mana cost has to be the same. At the very least. Okay, what is this? Colossal Dreadmaw versus Vorinclex. I think Vorinclex is like a completely different mana cost, right? Colossal Dreadmaw, Vorinclex. Oh no, it's not! Look at that! You're right. Boom! Colossal Dreadmaw, trample, 6/6. And Vorinclex, same mana cost, is literally Colossal... It's a super Colossal Dreadmaw. If this was a draft all-star... This should be banned in draft, basically. Vorinclex, green, 4 generic, 6/6, trample, and haste. If you would put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, put twice that many of each of those kinds of counters on that permanent or player instead. If an opponent would put one or more counters on a permanent or player, they put half that many of each of those kinds of counters on that permanent or player instead, rounded down. What a weird card. You could have just given it the haste, and I think it would have been good enough. It would have been more than good enough. Murder and Hero's Downfall. Murder. There's been a murder, and you're a suspect. Alright, destroy target creature. But then they made Hero's Downfall. And is there another one? Hero's Downfall. Black, 1 generic instant. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Who killed Dak Faden? It's a mystery. I think there's one more. Oh, what's that War of the... No, it's not War of the Spark. What's that adventure card? Murderous Rider. That's right. Murderous Rider. Although this may not be strictly better. Close enough. You know what? My show, it's strictly better. Destroy target creature or planeswalker, you lose 2 life. But you get like a 2/3 body on top of it. Like who's gonna complain about the 2/3 life linking body when it dies put on the bottom of its owner's library? Oh, that sucks. So you can't keep using the swift end over and over again. Boil versus Boiling Seas. Boil. Destroy all islands. Boiling Seas. Hold on, how does it get... I think it gets worse. It's sorcery, right? This is a strictly worse one. You're gonna get the buzzer. They need to get better, damn it! They need to get better. Okay, Sudden Edict versus Diabolic Edict? Sudden Edict. I think this is also a future card. Split second. Okay, so Diabolic... So split second. There we... That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so we have Diabolic Edict. This is the first one. Oh, did they? That's funny. Okay, so this is a really old card. Trust me. It's from, like, Urza's... What's the first set, actually? Oh, this goes way back. This is Tempest? Target player sacrifices a creature. It's an oldie but a goldie. Super oldie. Okay, so target player sacrifices a creature. They actually reprinted in Modern Horizons. And they're like, nobody's playing this card. Nobody. So they made the Sudden Edict. So sudden. What's this sword? This looks like it's supposed to be an important sword. Okay, split second. Target player sacrifices a creature. No time to think. It's over. You sack your creature. What else do we have here? Okay, hold on. Ryan has something to say about murder. Murder has been flipping between common and uncommon for years, while Hero's Downfall started as a rare, as was downgraded to uncommon for like 1 set. It's not the greatest. It's like a 3-mana removal spell. Like, sit down, Grandpa. These days, like, removal is just all 1 mana or 0 mana. Like, it's crazy. And in some ways, it should be like that. We should have some very free removal spells to deal with the stupid creatures of this game. Unfortunately, some of the creatures are free now. Those edicts are printed in the same set. Well, the same kind of set. This is Modern Horizons 2. This is Modern Horizons 1. Sudden Edict is the fair version of Diabolic Edict, so they can't sack their creature in response. That's right. Okay, so hold on. What else do we have? We've got Mistform Ultimus versus Orvar the Ulform. Mistform. Whatever the hell this is. Mistform Ultimate is every creature type. You got it, bub. Versus Orvar. I'm going to assume there's only one Orvar. Oh yes. So hold on. We had a 3/3 for a blue and 3 generic. That was every creature type. Basically changeling, right? Oh, but it had the creature type illusion. This is literally shapeshifter. It's close. Okay, that's good enough for me. Blue 3 generic 3/3 changeling. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, if it targets one or more other permanents you control, create a token that's a copy of one of those permanents. When when a spell or an ability an opponent controls cause you to discard a card, create a token that's a copy of target permanent. Good God. This is crazy. We've got Boulder with the super chat. Thanks so much this morning. Make Swords to Plowshares modern legal. All right. I have no power over there, but maybe if you message, I don't know, Mark Rosewater, you have a better chance. Okay, Evan wants to talk about Village Rights versus and Deadly Dispute. Okay, Village Rights. We got 1 mana instant as an additional cost to cast the spell, sack a creature, draw 2 cards, and Deadly Dispute. Not same casting cost. Just not same. No good. I don't like it. Oh, I like this one, though. Raging Goblin. Oh, the classic. Well, that's not the original Raging Goblin. I want to see his first ugly... Oh, did he come out in Portal first? Raging Goblin is unaffected by summoning sickness. That's why they call things haste now. They all melted it down to one word. Because if it's melted down to one word, there's more room for other abilities. It's a conspiracy. That's why they made keywords. That's why they called things exile and stuff. Okay, anyway, it's a 1/1 with haste. And then we've got... what was the other one? Legion Loyalists. And I swear, they probably looked at Raging Goblin, and this thing saw a lot of play in Magic's history. I mean, it was a staple. Was it ever part of any of those championship things? Okay, you were never a champion, Raging Goblin, but you know what? You saw a lot of play. Like, you were a very popular card. But then they can't... But then, yeah, at some point, it's completely obsolete. 1/1 with haste for 1 mana is just absolute trash. I mean, look at Swiftspear, I mean, strictly better than this card. But then they made the Legion Loyalist, which is a Goblin Soldier. 1 red, 1/1, haste again. But this time it's got Battalion. Whenever Legion Loyalist and at least 2 other creatures attack, creatures you control gain first strike, trample until end of turn, and can't be blocked by creature tokens this turn. This, I think, was a means of getting through the creature tokens thing. I think they knew that, what's it called? Lingering Souls. At the time in Standard was too good. So they tacked this on the stupid Legion Loyalist card. Funny thing though is this Legion Loyalist has killed me many times. Sometimes I have this gigantic Master of Waves. I've had many times this Master of Waves with like 20 power worth of tokens, and then my opponent slams the Legion Loyalist, and I'm like, oh god! Do I have like a good sound effect for this? Yes. The Legion Loyalist! Anyway, defeating all my tokens. Okay, we got Boulder again with the super chat. Coming out heavy with the super chats. Vampire Nighthawk. Which was like a staple, you know? Black, 1 generic, 2/3 flying death touch lifelink. Who doesn't like that card? Who plays this in Commander even right now? Let me know in the comment section below. But then they came out with the Nighthawk Scavenger. It's... Oops, no, it's Nighthawk Scavenger. Nighthawk Scavenger. Black, 1 generic. 1/3, but it can get bigger. Flying Death Touch Lifelink. Nighthawk Scavenger's power is equal to 1 plus the number of card types among all cards in your opponent's graveyards. So it's like a little bit smaller. Like this thing started off at 2 power. It's not going to be hard to get to that 2 power, but it can scale to 3, 4, 5 power. It can get it can be a big, beefy Nighthawk Scavenger. Yeah, anyone let me know if you guys love the Nighthawk, Vampire Nighthawk. We're gonna get to Jacob's super chat. Languish versus Ritual of Suit. Languish. Yes. Black, 2 generic. All creatures get -4/-4 until end of turn. And then Ritual of Suit. We'll get to that. You want to know what Ritual of Suit is? First, we have to go through our sponsors. FusionGamingOnline.com. My one-stop shop to buy all my Magic cards, my deck boxes. You know what I really like actually recently? These boulders. These boulders are nice from Ultimate Guard. They're like, I think they're airtight. Like, I like that sort of seal on it. It's very, very nice seal. Love it. And as a well, it's a bit loud, so I can't open and close this at night very well. But outside of that, I mean, it's a really good deck box. Now you just got to find a place where to put these boulder deck. I need a deck box for my boulder deck boxes. If you know which deck boxes fit boulder deck boxes, hey, let me know. But and then I'll probably get it from FusionGamingOnline.com. By the way, deal of the week this week: 15% off all secret layers and set boxes. Sorry, box sets. The yeah, fetch lands, shock lands, planeswalkers. I mean, they've basically made everything a secret lair. If it used to cost money, it's a secret lair. And now you can get it for 15% off. But don't worry, you can get, if that somehow is not enough for you, you can use coupon code Nikachu for an additional 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. Play more decks. And by more decks, you can play all the decks. So whatever the hell you want. You feel like playing Burn one day, you want to play Elves one day. And it's really good when the new set comes out, because you want to play with a whole bunch of different decks. See if the new cards shake them up, make them better, improve them. And you can be at the forefront when you're renting the cards with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below. Oops, or use coupon code Nikachu BTQ. Sorry, Nikachu_BTQ for 10% off your first 2 months. And just one more reminder that I've got, if you want to know, where's the gameplay, Nikachu? I thought you used to play the game. Yeah, I still do that, by the way. It's at my new channel, Nikachu Plays MTG. We've got Merfolk, we got Pauper Fairies content, and I think I'm going to establish myself as a true mono blue player, because that's what I have the most fun playing. All right, now back to our show. Okay, Languish versus the Ritual of Soot. Did anyone say anything about the deck boxes? Ultimate Guard archives fit boulders, I think. Well, that's nice. I would prefer a little bit more confidence in that answer. Nikachu, you want Gamegenic Dungeon 1100, perfect for boulders. I want to fit like maybe 2 to 3 boulders. I think that's what I want to do, because I got to go to Vegas with like 3 decks. Okay, Ritual of Soot, black, 2 generic. Destroy all creatures with converted mana cost 3 or less. Well, you super chatted, so sure, we'll go with this. But this can kill like 5 drops and stuff. This is a little bit different cards. Quite a bit different cards. All right, Casper Soul. I swear, Molten Rain is worse than Pillage. Is the best example of strictly better upgrade. All right, well, let's look at it. Molten Rain. Molten Rain, red, 1 generic. Destroy target land. If that land was non-basic, Molten Rain deals 2 damage to the land's controller. And then you want to say Pillage? But Pillage destroys artifacts. So hold on, which one is better? You're saying... You're saying Pillage is better. Destroy artifact or a land, it can't be originated. But what if you wanted to deal damage to them? I bet there is a strictly worse Pillage out there. Or there has to be. This one deals damage. I think... Did Burn players ever play this? I think... Maybe they did. Maybe they did. Okay, we got Raise Dead. Worse than Echoing Truth. Raise Dead. What is Raise? What the hell? This is not even in the same stratosphere. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Echoing Truth? Are you sure? Okay, well, you're getting the buzzer here. Oh! Mirror... Aren't they the same? Mirror Enforcer. Oh, no, hold on. One of them has... Okay, Mirror Enforcer versus Sojourner's Companion. Oh, I like this one. Okay, we have Mirror Enforcer, 7 mana, 4/4 artifact, but has affinity for artifacts, and it's a mirror. And then we have Sojourner's Companion. Oh, the Salamander! The strictly better Salamander. 7 mana, 4/4 affinity for artifacts, but this Salamander has artifact cycling. You can pay 2 mana, discard this card, search your library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. This is one of very few cards I am very happy to get my face beaten down with. I'm just really happy by everything about this card. I like pronouncing this card. I like the picture. This is a beautiful card. The Sojourner. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. But I like how I'm... Oh, he said Echoing Return. Echoing Return versus Echoing Truth? Yeah, that's Echoing Return. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we have loose rules here. It has to be the same mana cost, same effect, plus bonus. The Lord Magicus got the idea. He knows the rules. Wrath God versus Damn. Actually, Damn, that is a good one. Okay, Wrath of God. No, hold on. I think Damnation is better because you can't... Or is Damn the same thing? Hold on. Okay, so Wrath of God, we've got... White, 2 generic. Destroy all creatures. They can't be regenerated. And then Damn. Destroy target creature. A creature destroyed this way can't be regenerated. Yep. So you can just throw this... You can throw this black card in your white deck, having no intention of paying the black cost. And you know what? Your opponent, they might play Urborg. Your opponent might have an Urborg. The Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth. Where's the Urborg? This one. And then when your opponent does, bam, you get him with the Damn. That would be such a beating. It'd be an absolute beating if they got him. If you got him like this, they would never see that coming. Yeah, it's funny. No one mentioned this last time. Lord of Atlantis. All other merfolk get +1/+1 and have Island Walk. But the problem is it affects your opponent's merfolk as well. So Lord of Atlantis will pump up your opponent's merfolk if they have them, like their true name nemesis. But then they made Master of the Pearl Trident, which is all other merfolk you control get +1/+1 and Island Walk, but it doesn't affect your opponent's merfolk. Doesn't affect the opponent's merfolk. That's not the same casting cost. You know that one. Swords to Plowshares and Solitude. That's not even close. Naturalize to Boseiju. What does Naturalize do? Natural. There we go. Boseiju gives a land. Boseiju. Not quite the same. There's definitely a strictly better card in this sense, though. I think there's a better green version of Naturalize, but this is not it. Okay, we'll just quick. Yeah, we can quickly go Jackal Pup. This was like the premier example on the last time I did a strictly better video. Jackal Pup, red 2/1. Whenever it's dealt damage, deals that much damage to you. Then Ragavan, just all gravy. No damage to you here. None whatsoever. Was it Wilt? Okay, hold on. So we have Naturalize and then Wilt. There we go. Cloud Extreme knows his disenchants. Cloud Extreme knows disenchants. We have Wilt here. Green 1 generic. Destroy target artifact or enchantment, but you could cycle this one. You can cycle it. They're just pushing the power level of disenchant all the way to the end. Okay, we have a new Deadly Dispute. Okay, Altar's Reap, whatever the hell that is. Okay, black 1 generic. As an additional cost to cast Altar's Reap, sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards. And now we've got the Deadly Dispute. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature, draw 2 cards, and create a treasure token. Yes. Oh man, do we have a... I have no clapping sound effect. Yeah, this is good enough. That is strictly better. Beautiful. The puzzle has been solved. There was a strictly better. I guess we found the strictly worse card to Deadly Dispute. Larry Law, Fire Breathing versus Dragon Mantle. Fire Breathing. So this is just what, an aura that gives it. You can give you the enchanted creature +1/+0. Ah, yes, Fire Breathing. The classic. And then, so what's the upgrade? Uh-oh, I missed the upgrade. What's the upgrade? Oh, Dragon Mantle. Does it draw a card upon entering the battlefield? Dragon Mantle. I want to say I know this card. Enchanted creature. I'm right! Enters the battlefield, draw a card. Oh, intuition, people. Like, I don't even know what this card is if you asked me what Dragon Mantle was, but I felt it in my soul that when this card enters the battlefield, you draw a card. I never even played with the card before. Why do I even know? And it has, yes, enchanted creature has red. This creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. You know what they could do to make this card better is just make it permanent. Would that be broken? I don't know. I don't think it would be broken. An aura that just changed the power permanently? Why does it have to be until end of turn? Probably is broken and limited, though. That'd be a hard thing to balance out. Hard thing to balance out. We got Radiant Shadow here with dead weight versus weakness. Dead weight. Very cute card. Dead weight, black. Enchant creature. Enchant creature gets -2/2 versus weakness. Yes. Okay, so this is the first one. This came from like 2010. Enchanted creature gets -2/-1. Not strong enough, so they decide to up the ante with the dead weight. For a single black enchanted creature gets -2/-2. I can't remember, but this saw Modern play, didn't it? I think it saw Modern play for like a very brief period of time. I don't remember what it was good against, though. I don't remember. Okay, hold on. Someone said, I saw something with Uro. Uro versus... No, that's not the same. Not even close. Naturalize to return to nature. Naturalize. Okay, again, our disenchant. Then return to nature. Ah, yes. Destroy. So you can choose one. Destroy target artifact. Destroy target enchantment. Or you can exile target card from a graveyard. Absolutely. We got Robert here. Jackal Hops. First, Jackal Hops. If you ask me how to spell Jackal Hops, I wouldn't be able to do it. Not for $1 million. Red. The one that we get World Fire here. World Fire. Okay, Jackal Hops. Red, 4 generic. Destroy all artifacts, creatures, and lands that can't be regenerated. But then we got World Fire. Well, this is strictly better, like, depending what you want to do. Exile all permanents, exile all cards from all graveyards and hands and graveyards. Each player's life total becomes 1. Yeah, I'm giving you the buzzes. It's not the same mana cost. This is 6 mana. This is 9 mana. It's not the same. At the very least, we can at least have the same mana cost, right? Can we at least do that? Similar effect, though. Boiling Seas versus Boil. Isn't that, but it weren't backwards, right? Boiling Seas did not come first. Yeah, this came second. Boil is an old card. 8th edition. See, 8th. Then they downgrade. They reprinted the same card, but downgraded. What's wrong with them? Shock with. There we go. Oh, we got Shock. Again, I have to look for Shock. Sudden Shock. Shock Troops. 1 red. Shock deals 2 damage to any target. But then there's Play with Fire. I think this is the Shock with a Scry. So 1 red, instant. Play with Fire deals 2 damage to any target. If a player is dealt damage this way, you get to Scry 1. Beautiful. Finally, they're putting Scry on the burn spells. How long? Okay, so how long is it going to be until this is just Bolt with Scry? How long? I imagine Magic 20 years from now, maybe it's going to have a Bolt with Scry 2 attached to it. The power level of cards, people. It's just going to get better and better. All right, Michael Crawford. Utopia Sprawl can only enchant forests. So if you only have a Waterlog Grove or something, Utopia Sprawl can't be cast. Oh, I have no idea what this is in response to. Counterspell versus Mana Drain. Yes, although... So Counterspell did come first. I know Mana Drain did come second. Originally, it wasn't supposed to be... So this is blue counter target spell. This is blue counter target spell, and then you get mana equal to that spell's mana value. on your next main phase. But back then with mana burn, this actually was strictly worse at the time. It's just when they got rid of the mana burn that this became strictly better. Miles better. I wish we had this in Modern, honestly. I wish we had... you people might call me crazy. I don't care. I wish we had mana drain in Modern. It would be too powerful, though. People would be playing Karn the Great Creators really quickly. Alright, we got Unexpected Windfall to the big score. Unexpected Windfall. Oh, isn't it... Did they make a strictly better card so quickly? As an additional cost to cast this spell, discard a card. Draw 2 cards, create 2 treasure tokens. Then, what is it called? The big score. It's not the same mana cost. Oh, it's sort of... Oh, no, it's cheaper, I guess. As an additional cost to cast this spell, discard a card. Draw 2 cards, create 2 treasure tokens. Discard a card, draw 2 cards, create 2... Oh, yeah, this is strictly better. You know what? I'll take it. It's the same thing, but it makes it easier. And is it newer? It is newer. They made the exact same card so quickly in a short period of time. Like, this, this adventure in the Forgotten Realms thing, that wasn't too long ago. Cancel to Wizard's Retort? No, I think... Oh, yeah, it is. Cancel. That's a great example. Cancel. Blue, blue, 1 generic counter target spell. That's a classic. Wizard's Retort. So it's blue, blue, 1 generic counter target spell, but it will cost 1 less to cast if you control a wizard. You would make this even better if it was 1 blue, 2 generic, and it got 1 less to cast for each wizard you control. That would have been a fantastic card. They're just too scared of counterspell these days. Way too scared. Opt and Preordain are way too different cards. Not even close. Not in the same ballpark. One's an instant. One is not. Okay, we got Mental Note versus Thought Scour. I'm gonna make a mental note of that. Okay, put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. Draw a card. Put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. Draw a card. Isn't that the same, actually? Target player mills. Oh, you can target your opponent. Top 2 cards of your library. Oops, sorry. Okay, so put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. Draw a card. But then they came in with Thought Scour. Target player mills 2 cards. And you know what? That has happened a lot. You know, I've been bobbled and my opponent is like, what? I don't like that card on top of your library. Thought Scour you. Also, it has synergy with the Drown in the Loch. The creepy siren in the background. So, like, they'll force me. Yeah, I play a Merfolk deck. I'm not really putting a whole lot of cards in my graveyard. And the opponent's like, no, that's not going to happen. We are going to put cards in your graveyard so I can counter your spells and destroy your creatures. Boomerang versus Eye of Nowhere. Thanks, James Robb. Okay, hold on. Boomerang. So that's an old one. It's super old. So old, I hate its picture. Boomerang, blue, blue. Instant. Return target permanent to its owner's hand. I've never heard of Eye of Nowhere, though. Return target permanent to its owner's hand in its arcane. This is strictly worse. This is definitely in the strictly worse category. Don't worry, we're gonna have a strictly worse day. But it's not today. Who really can control wizards, though? Me. I control wizards. Many merfolk are wizards. Syncopate into Condescend. Syncopate is a super old card. Blue X. Counter target spell unless its controller pays X. If that spell's countered this way, exile it instead of putting it to its owner's graveyard. But then we've got the Condescend. Oh, I think this is a bit of a different card, though. It doesn't exile. It's the same ability. I'm giving the buzzer out too much. Curiosity versus Curious Obsession. Okay, we'll go with this one. Also a little bit of a different card. You don't have to attack with a creature every turn, but Curiosity doesn't see a whole lot of play. So blue, enchant creature. When an enchanted creature deals damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. And then we have Curious. Obsession. Don't get obsessed over this, Mikey J. Now the creature gets +1/+1, and you can draw a card whenever you deal damage, but you have to attack with it every turn. At the beginning of your end step, if you didn't attack with a creature this turn, sacrifice Curious Obsession. But this actually saw competitive play, just because that +1/+1. This downside meant absolutely nothing. It's basically a pump spell. It's like putting Rancor on a creature. There we go. Molten Rain is a red and a red. Stone Rain is red and 1 blue. This is strictly worse. Okay, wait, it's got to be chronologically correct. The worst card had to get released first. The better card had to be released second. Snuffleupagus, you weren't here at the beginning of the show. That was my opener, damn it. That was the opener. It's okay. I appreciate even if you're late. Healing Salve versus Healing Grace. So this is one of the OG. This is like the alpha beta card, right? So this card has, as far as I'm concerned, seen no play in history. It's one of the worst cards ever printed. Part of the best cycles of all time. Dark Ritual, get 3 mana. Lightning Bolt, deal 3 damage. Ancestral Recall, draw 3 cards. Healing Salve. Counters the Lightning Bolt, but doesn't quite counter the draw 3 cards. Alright, so what does Healing Grace do? Instant, prevent the next 3 damage that would be dealt to any target this turn by a source of your choice. You gain 3 life. Is this strictly better? Target player gains 3 life, prevent the next 3 damage that would be dealt to target creature or player this turn. Prevent the next 3 damage that would be dealt to any target. Oh, so you can actually protect your Planeswalker. You can protect the plane. You get to protect anything in this one. It's only creature or player. This is anything. I like it. Alright, strictly better. Even though nobody will play this card. Nobody will play this card. Blossoming Defense, Ranger's Guile. Blossoming Defense into Ranger's Guile. Okay, so what do we have here for Blossoming Defense? We've got a green instant. Target creature you control gets +2/+2, gains hexproof until end of turn. How is there going to be a better version of this? Like, this sees competitive play. There's a better version of this? Target creature gains, you control gets... Oh, this was the worst one first. Okay, yeah. This is, Okay, so this one came out earlier. Target creature you control gets... I think it came out earlier. Came out in Innistrad, absolutely. Green, target creature you control gets +1/+1, gains hexproof until end of turn. No, Blossoming Defense. Gets a little bit bigger. Definitely was a all-star. All-star in fact. I'll take... This is not exactly accurate, but I'll take it. Alright, first we have Unmask. I'd appreciate it if you put the strictly worse version first. Black 3 generic. You may remove a black card in your hand from the game instead of paying unmasked mana cost. Look at target player's hand and choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. Funny enough, if they printed this in Modern, it'd probably create a lot less chaos. But then they made Grief. It's the creature version of this card. Black 2 generic for a 3/2 menace. Menacing creature. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals their hand. You again choose an online card from it. That player discards that card, but you are allowed to evoke this thing by exiling a black card from your hand from the game. So at least you get a creature attached. Now the only difference between the two is Unmask can target you, which was a deadly piece of utility in the Reanimator deck. So you unmask yourself. Very often my opponent plays like Unmask, targeting themselves. Yeah, okay, that resolves. And then they just put like their big fatty into the graveyard. Whereas Grief, oh, they balanced it out by not being allowed to target yourself. Doomblade versus Infernal Grasp. Well, we're talking about the black cards here. Doomblade, a classic black 1 generic. Destroy target non-black creature. And Infernal Grasp. Doomblade, the bar. To to say if a creature is good or not. If it dies to Doomblade, who cares? Okay, blue, 1 generic. Destroy target creature, you lose 2 life. Sure. Sure, why not? No one plays Doomblade, but I think few people play Infernal Grasp. That's not the same mana cost at all. Cryptic Command versus Veil of Summer. To any of the modern players out there who hate Veil of Summer. Oh, we got Peak versus Gitaxian Probe are just 2 very different cards. They're way too different. You know what? Maybe we could do this one. Peak came out a long time ago. You know what? Maybe I accept this one. Look at target player's hand, draw a card. Then they made Gitaxian Probe. Yeah, this is a good one. This is strictly better. Obviously, this saw way more play than Peak did. Peak didn't see play for crap. Okay, so Phyrexian mana, look at target player's hand, draw a card. The fact that it's instant speed is pretty irrelevant. Especially sorcery speed 0, no one cares. Doesn't matter if it's sorcery. It can be ultra sorcery. Extra slow. Ranger's Guile versus Snakeskin Veil. I think we looked at that. We looked at Ranger's Guile. We just looked at Ranger's Guile and Snakeskin Veil. Oh, okay. So this is just +1/+1 hexproof until end of turn. Snakeskin Veil is you get to put a counter on target creature you control. It gets hexproof until end of turn. Oh yeah, that is definitely strictly better. Oh, the power creep, people. The power creep. They're putting counters on our creatures. They're giving them hexproof. Now what's next? Who knows? Oh my, yes! Coastal Tower. I love this one, Jake. This is a great one. Coastal Tower. Enters the battlefield tapped, add a blue or white to your mana pool. This is the poor man's revised dual land toolbox. But then they came out with the Tranquil Cove. Some people must have been, whoa! These cards are so much better now. Oh, they got a new card. They have from the new Warhammer cards. Can we get something that's normal looking? So it enters the battlefield tap, still adds the blue and white, but enters the battlefield, you gain a life. You gain a life. Mind Rot, worse than Go Blank. Okay, Mind Rot. I appreciate people who show me which one's worse. Mind Rot. Actually, it just looks like someone who's passed out, that's all. Black, 2 generic, target player discards 2 cards. And I've seen many of people at university look like this. I've been even like this. But I wasn't drunk or anything. Okay, then now Go Blank. So black, 2 generic, sorcery, target player discards 2 cards, then exile all cards from that player's graveyard. Oh, you get them all. So if they're a graveyard deck, we'll screw them. This would have helped them. This doesn't help them. So they actually made strictly better Mind Rot. To Go Blank is, I wonder if that's going to be the go-to discard card from here on out. Gitaxian Probe is worse than pick your favorite Modern Horizons 2 card. Change my mind. I actually don't think so. Yeah, I think Gitaxian Probe is just a little too broken. Last Word, Overwhelming Denial. Okay, we got Last Word. Blue, 2 generic. Last Word can't be countered by spells or abilities. You counter target spell. Wow, that is garbage. 4 mana. I mean, I guess in the right environment, maybe this is good. It's probably a fine commander card, I guess, like against your counterspell friends. Okay, now we have Overwhelming Denial. Blue, 2 generic. Also can't be countered by spells or abilities. Counter target spell, but it's got the Surge, people. Well, I guess that's why Overwhelming Denial is like. I used to own this card. Overwhelming Denial. Surge. What the hell is Surge? You may cast this spell for its Surge cost if you or a teammate has cast another spell this turn. Beautiful. You or a teammate. So basically, you can just play any random spell, right? know, I'll just go draw some cards. Draw some cards, and then I'm going to play a Surge Cost. Overwhelming Denial. Alright, Robert with Stroke of Genius versus Drown in Dreams. Stroke of Genius. And I don't doubt that this is Stroke of Genius. This, you know, this used to be a powerhouse back in the day. But there's a lot of strictly better cards of this, aren't there? And then, what did you say? Drown in Dreams? Instant, choose one. If you control a commander as you cast this spell, you may choose both. Target player draws X cards. Target player mills twice X cards. Good God! Mill out someone's... Mill out... Oh, you can only mill out one player, though. Mill out everybody. Draw 40 cards. Dump 80 cards into your... Dump 80 cards of your deck into your graveyard. Yeah! No, this doesn't work. Force negation is... They have two different abilities. Cancel counters anything. Costly Plunder? Costly Plunder. Black 1 generic. There's an additional cost to cast the spell, sack an artifact or creature, draw 2 cards. We didn't see a cost, and then there's Deadly Dispute. So they finally made like a strict... So Deadly Dispute is like finally like the strictly better card for a lot of different effects. They tried to make this thing work for, I don't know, who knows how long. I guess Ixalan? Sack an artifact or creature, draw 2 cards. Costly Plunder. Oh, it's a nice picture. I never stopped to appreciate the Costly Plunder. And then, but the Deadly Dispute will be the... now this is pushed. They pushed this. How can this be common? Why did they do that? Is this really common worthy? I mean, I don't know, maybe. It's pretty good stuff. Foul play is worse than Frogify, is worse than Witness Protection. All right, let's go on a journey here. Adam is taking us on a journey. Foul play, which is silver border. Blue 1, a 2 generic. Enchant creature loses all abilities and is a 1/1 creature that counts as a chicken. So it looks like they started with this unglued card. They're like, hey, this card's sort of fun. We like turning things into chickens, so let's turn them into frogs. Frogify. Blue 1 generic, enchant creature, loses all abilities and a blue frog. My name is Hopkin Green Frog. I lost my frog. Frog creature with base power and toughness is a 1/1. If anyone knows that reference, let me know in the comments section below. I don't think anyone's gonna get it though. Anyway, enchanted creature loses all... Okay, sorry. And then now... What is the last one we're missing? Oh, Witness Protection. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a green and white citizen creature with base power and toughness 1/1 named Legitimate Business Person. You know what's funny? They keep pushing this card and it still sees no play. Still sees absolutely no play. Egoish wants to get in here and says, what's the worst version of Ledger Shredder? I don't think it exists. I'll accept this. Forest. We got Forest is strictly worse from Yavimaya. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe not. Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth. Where's Yavimaya? Oh, here it is. Tucked away over there. Each land is a forest in addition to its other land types. Because it helps your opponents. It helps your opponents. Okay, Autrox says Necrogoyf is worse than the Mortivore. Necrogoyf. Black 3 generic. Star 4. Necrogoyf's power is equal to the number of creature cards in all graveyards. This is a new one. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player discards a card and has madness. And this is worse than Mortivore? Mortivore. How new is this card? I think it's old. I think this is way older. So black. Oh, you're saying You got your thing mixed up. Okay, Mortivore, black, 2 generic, star. Power and toughness each equal the number of creature cards in all graveyard. Regenerate the Mortivore. But then we have Necrogoyf. Not the same casting cost, so. It is better. It is a better card overall, but it's not strictly better. We at least want the casting cost to be the same. Autumn's Veil and Veil of Summer. I think we mentioned this on the last time that we did this. Spells you control can't be countered by blue or black spells this turn, and creatures you control can't be targets of blue or black spells. Then we have Veil of Summer. Same damn thing. But you get to draw the card. Han with Sand Stip Citadel. Oh, and the Triome. The Indatha Triome, whatever the hell that is. Indatha Triome. These names, you know what? I just realized why I can't remember the names to any of these cards. They've got all these nonsensical names attached to them. How can I remember what an Indantha is? I don't know any names to like any, or maybe I know Rogren Triome. How many Triomes do you guys know? I know Rogren. I'm done. I don't know anymore. If you can name all 10, great to you. And I'm counting, you know, like the battle, whatever, the playgrounds. It's not the playgrounds, but you know what I mean. Okay, and Dantha Triumph, same damn thing, but it's got cycling. And you can search it out, actually. So you can search it out. Counts as every basic land type, and it can cycle. Strictly better. MH with the Mind Sculpt and Glimpse the Unthinkable. Mind Sculpt. Which is blue 1 generic. Target opponent puts the top 7 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. An oldie card. Glimpse the Unthinkable. Glimpse the Unthinkable. Target player mills 10 cards. Not same casting cost at all. Not even close. Tom here with a super chat. Root Snare versus Blessed Respite. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. And then we got the Blessed Respite. I mean, you could also just... Fog is just better than... Why did they... Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn? Why did they make a strictly worse Fog in 2019? Why? What was the point of that? Blessed Respite. Okay, so we've got green 1 generic. Target player shuffles their graveyard into their library. Prevent all combat damage that be dealt this turn. They're trying to push Fog, people. They're trying to make it good. They're trying their hardest. Okay, Salt Flats, Cave of Koilos. Says Fujin. Salt Flats. What the hell is Salt Flats? Enters the battlefield tapped. Oh! This is a Tempest card. I didn't even know these cards existed. And, yeah, then they made just strictly better. Caves of Koilos. Some people, if you're an Eldrazi player... and you need, like, a land to help your Eldrazi mana. Here, Salt Flats is for you. I didn't even know these cards existed. Oh, it's Koilos with a K. Same thing, yeah. Add a generic mana, add a white or black. So it's the same thing, but it doesn't come into the play tapped. True story. That's a neat one. I like learning about that one. I never heard of this cycle of lands before. By the time, I mean, when I started getting into Magic, I got into Magic in Invasion, which is the first set that this came out in. So by the point Caves of Koilos came out, no one would show me that older stuff. Balder with the super chat. Thank you so much. Extirpate versus Surgical Extraction. Excellent. Extirpate. You only get one. Extirpate versus... Okay, so Extirpate is... It's got split second, but no one cares about this. Choose target card in a graveyard other than a basic land. Search its owner's graveyard, hand, and library for all cards with the same name as that card and exile them. Get him out of here. Came from planar chaos. And then we got surgical extraction. For a single Phyrexian, so you can pay no mana if you want. Choose target card in a graveyard other than a basic land. Search its owner's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with the same name as that card and exile that card. Karoo versus any bounce land. Karoo! Enters the battlefield tapped. As enter the battlefield, sacrifice it unless you return an untapped planes you control to its owner's hand. Add a white and a blue. Oh, so this is the original. This is where... So that's why they call them the Karoo lands. I actually didn't... I assumed it was a reference to something, but I didn't know what. So here it is, Karoo. Why do they call them Karoo? Why is that? What, Simic? Was it Simic Growth Chamber? Yeah, there we go. Simic Growth Chamber. They always called them Karoo lands, and I'm like, what the hell is that? What is a Karoo land? I am now today years old to know that Karoo is it's basically the Simic Growth Chamber cycle of lands, but it was for mono. Was it only for white? They only have a white one, or did they have one for blue, red, green, and black? Karoo also requires the land to be on untapped planes. Ooh, that is bad. Certainly it's no play. Look at those cute little deer over there having fun. Augie with the explosive vegetarian to migration path. What? Oh, sorry, not vegetarian. It's vegetation. Explosive vegetation. The explosive vegetarian. They're deadly. They dealt damage. Migration path. So explosive vegetation is a green 3 generic. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Put them onto the battlefield tapped. Then shuffle your library. And the migration path is green 3 generic. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Put them onto the battlefield tapped. Then shuffle your library. But you can cycle it. That's all what Wizards has to do these days. They just basically tack on cycling onto anything. Just throw cycling on any random card. Put cycling on counterspell if you just need to buff it up. Mr. Merfolk Curse Catcher is worse than Vidalian Hex Catcher. You're right, but it's not the same mana cost. The Ranger's Path. The Ranger's Path. Sky Shroud Claim. Alright, Ranger's Path. Green 3 generic. Search your library for up to 2 forest cards. Put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. So is this a cycler one again? Sky Shroud Claim. It has a strictly better art. I'll give it that. This art sucks. Sorry, Thomas Yedrushak. My apologies. Sky Shroud Claim. Green 3 generic. Search your library for up to 2 forest cards. Put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Hold on. What is the difference between these? Search your library for up to 2 forest cards. Put them on the battlefield tapped. Search your library for up to 2 forest cards. Put them on the battle so they don't come into play tapped. Man, that was like a Where's Waldo. What is the difference between these 2 damn cards? They look the same. Yeah, the tap versus the untapped. Cathodian. You know, you guys are just throwing cards I've never heard of before. Cathodian? And, so 3 generic for a 3/3 creature. When it dies, you add 3 colorless mana. Holy crap. This is basically a Krark-Clan Ironworks special. And then we got Suchi. 4 mana. 4 mana? When Suchi dies, add 4 mana to your mana pool. Okay, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Questing Beast is strictly better upgrade to Rumbling Baloth. Rumbling Baloth. You're not wrong. 4 foot. What is the stupid card? Questing Beast. So yeah, we have a 4/4 for 4 mana with no other abilities. Just a bunch of flavor text. What would you rather have? Vigilance, Death, Touch, Haste, can't be blocked by creatures power 2 or less. Combat damage that be dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented. What were they smoking when they made this card? Look at all these abilities on this thing. It already has 4 abilities on the first 45% of its text box. And then whenever Questing Beast deals damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to our Planeswalker that player controls. And you know what's funny? This still doesn't see a whole lot of play in the grand scheme of things. It's still not good enough. It's just like it's saw play. It's good, but like anyway, not strictly better. Oh, this is what are you talking about? What is strictly worse? Why? Because it's legendary. Suchi is not strictly better than Cathodian. Different. Yeah, I know. I allowed it because hey, you got a little bit bigger. But I don't like it. I prefer the it's the same casting cost. Armadillo Cloak versus Unflinching Courage. The Armadillo Cloak. Man, who was around when this first came out? White, green, 1 generic. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has trample. Whenever you enchanted creature deals damage, you gain that much life. And then they made Unflinching Courage. Hold on. Unflinching. Is this the same card? Yeah, Unflinching Courage. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and he has trample and lifelink. Now this one's better because this is a trigger actually. So when you deal damage to the opponent, it's not lifelink. Because lifelink, it happens immediately. You gain the life. But if for whatever reason your opponent smacks you, they could in response burn you to death. But in this case they can't. Once the damage is done, the damage is done. And you gain the life. Well, I saw Doomblade versus Terror. This came out later, right? I think this came out later. Terror came out first. I don't even remember what Terror does. Destroy target non-artifact, non-black creature. It can't be regenerated. Destroy target non-black creature. Strictly better. That is... Wow, it doesn't get any more strictly better than that. Who do I give credit for? Here. Liquid Soulfly. Interesting avatar, by the way. Elvish Mystic and Llanowar Elves just for artwork. Well, but it will probably give me a bunch of different artworks. The original artwork for Llanowar Elves is just awful. It's one reason I can't stand the art of the past. Authority of the Console. They have a strictly better version of this? Authority of the Console. Which is a white. Creatures your opponent's control enter the battlefield tapped. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, you gain a life. And then we've got a Johnny Welcome. Welcome to my home. Well, it's not much of a welcome if they're coming into play tapped. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. Oh, this is the worst version. So a Johnny Welcome. Creature enters the battlefield under your control. Oh, this has nothing to do with each other, though. Creatures your opponent's control enter the battlefield tapped. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, you gain a life. I mean, okay, I would say this is better. You don't really care for your creatures gaining the life. But it's a little awkward. I think Authority of the Consoles is strictly better, though. Or sorry, it is a better card, but maybe not strictly better. Brian F. with the super chat, thanks so much. Standing Stones versus Skyclave Relic. There's gonna be so many people in my comments section complaining about these strictly better cards. Okay, Standing Stones. I'm not even gonna... It's funny, they've errated this in a way that, like, so much shorter now. It's just a... Look at this big wall of text. But now it's just 1 generic tap, pay 1 life, add 1 mana of any color. Skyclave Relic. And it is... Oops. 3 mana. Well, this is a completely different card. Kicker 3, indestructible. When Skyclave Relic enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, create 2 tapped tokens that are copies of Skyclave Relic. Do I have the right card here? Skyclave Relic. You're trolling me! What a troll! It's strictly worse. It's not even close to the same. Nikita with a huge super chat. A Johnny's Pride Mate and Voice of the Blessed. Ah, yes. Bedsheet and Elemental. Voice of the Blessed. So a Johnny's Pride Mate, white, 1 generic, 2/2. Whenever you gain life, put a counter on a Johnny's Pride Mate. I think Voice of the Blessed is white, though. Voice of the Blessed. White, 2/2. Close enough in the casting cost. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on Voice of the Blessed. As long as Voice of the Blessed has 4 more counters on it, it has Flying and Vigilance. And as long as Voice of the Blessed has 10 or more +1/+1 counters on it, it is indestructible. The Bedsheet Elemental. What a way to end the show today. Well, did you enjoy that? You love those strictly better cards over Magic the Gathering history? And if you know any more strictly better cards, let us all know in the comments section below. So thank you for joining me today. We do this Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time if you want to be part of the action live. Thank you so much for all the super chats, everyone. Lets me know you love Coffee and MTG, and we got to continue doing this every single day. But most importantly, thank you for showing up. Because if I'm the only one showing up here, there is no show. You guys are the show. So I very much every day thank you for showing up today, being a part of this whole presentation, being part of the content and the action. So as usual, keep brewing up those coffees, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will